Tentacion, left side, and that's gone!
And Jay Doctor, a home run!
We've got a no-hitter!
Welcome to the Pro Baseball Experience.
Hello everybody, this is your host of the PBE Rewind, Lord Parquad, as I will be going over this week's episode, going over week 3 of season 41 with you all, and it's getting pretty close to the playoffs now, so the way things are kind of shaking out is getting very interesting as not much time left. So let's go ahead and get right into it with the majors here, starting with the Champions East. As you see, Nasbase sitting at 51-30 at the top of that division, but the Detroit Demons are close behind there in second with only 2 games back. But now jumping over to the west side, we have a barn burner there going into the final week of the season, with both the Cancun Toros and the Death Valley Scorpions tied at the top of that division at 52-29. Now jumping over to the Legends Conference, we have the Legends East, as the New York Warriors, after a rough week this week in the Sim, they still are fixed at the top there, as Providence also kind of slid a little bit, as New York reclaimed first place, being 50-31, but Providence only 3 games behind. And on the Legends West here, we have the Toronto Pathfinders in their inaugural season, with a very firm place in first there, with Vancouver being 6 games behind them, so Vancouver is going to have a lot to go here to get a playoff spot, let alone try to compete for that division lead. Now moving over here, we're going to be looking at your Players of the Month here, starting with the champion side with your Players of the Month for the month of July. Larry B. Burnside is going to be your Batter of the Month, and Johnny Quest is going to be your Pitcher of the Month. Moving over to the Legends Conference, your Batter of the Month is going to be a pair of Voyagers here. We'd love to see it, as TGP, great there, doing fantastic this month. And then unfortunately, I managed to make the Player of the Month as my pitcher there. So that's a little bit of commentator's curse. You know that probably week 4 will not be good for me. All right, here. And next up, as for the minors, we have the West Conference. Go ahead and being led by the Kansas City Hepcats. They have a very dominant lead on not only the West, but in the league in general. They have a 5-game lead over the next best team, Chicago, on the other side. But as you see here, they have a 7-game lead over the Anchorage Wheelers, who are having a very fantastic season. But just speaking of the East, let's jump over there. Looking at the East here, we have Chicago firmly affixed at the top of those standings at 50-31 with an 8-game lead over State College, who is going to be in second place there. As you look at the rest of that East Conference with both State College and Florida, as they're going to have a lot to do here if they want to get into the playoffs, as you know, only 6 teams get in, so we're going to have to see a dogfight here at the end of the season. But going over your Players of the Month here, we have your Players of the Month for the month of July is going to be Mo Love of the State College Swifties, who have had a fantastic season, especially his fantastic second half so far. And your Pitcher of the Month is going to be Lave DePoint of the Kansas City Hepcats. Now, quickly going over here, we have your MVP favorites possibility for the season 41 after the first 3 weeks, with Unique Name and Leo Livid being at the top 2 spots there, having fantastic seasons. However, as we spoke about him a little bit earlier, honorable mention here to Mo Love, as he is continuing to go up that ladder and have a fantastic second half. So let's see if he can continue it here in week 4 and maybe kind of jump up in there and take it at one of that top or first or second spot there in the MVP race. Speaking of MVP, we're going to go over to potential Pitcher of the Year favorites, as right now we have a few folks here that are looking very good right now. Is leading the way, I think, would be Tommy Vanderhonken of the Kansas City Hepcats, as he had a fantastic season with that 3.3 WAR with that 11-4 record. But then in second place is a rookie here, Guy Manuel Lore, who is going to be somebody that you can't really just shy away from. But then we wanted to give a shout out to I'm a Closer, a honorable mention there, as they have been one of the best and most dominant relief pitchers in the PBE minors this season. And then the last thing we kind of wanted to talk about here is your Players of the Week over the last few weeks. Here, as we see Randy Fast Track from the Puerto Rico Ranas, Harley Quinn of the Anchorage Wheelers, Bowen Bearer of the Brew City Bears, Bob Catter of the State College Swifties, and Leonidas Ruiz of the Amarillo Armadillos. But that will be the end here for us and the PBE Rewind team. We thank you all for watching and have the rest of your great night. And of course, be excited for week 4 as the season winds down. We are looking forward to that and the playoffs. Have a good night, everyone.